Right? I know, that's true. Well, as soon as we started walking towards it, because I had the option of taking him to our friend's house, which is like a block away from where the tent is. Yeah. But as soon as I saw the tent, they're like, yeah. We had a babysitter that thought was, I guess, the schedule conflict with us. She thought it was like, scrambling. No, it ended up working out. Oh yeah. Laura had to work for the morning. She got off about 5 o'clock and came over. It was pretty good. Thanks a minute.
Diane, for the public meeting, I didn't have anything in here for that.
It's one that we're going to extend indefinitely. That small.
Do we have a, so we need to have a date certain that we can?
No, I guess we're going to do it indefinitely.
Just table it indefinitely?
My understanding.
Yes.
Yes?
There'll be a total rewrite of that section there, of that section of the code.
All right, it is 7:05 on October 8th, 2018. Thanks for everybody in the audience that's here, council, for showing up tonight. Can I have a roll call, please?
Michael Hellman.
Here.
Scott Pennell.
Here.
Susie Stokes. Here. Bob Boland. Mike Buick.
Here.
John Curtis.
Here.
Jason Siegel.
Here.
See if my agendas and my envelope that I leave it in there. I don't have my agenda, I can share with Tracy. Is it in there?
He's in there.
Please stand with us for the pledge of allegiance. That's not it. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have an agenda in front of us, and I know we have an amendment to it to support Proposition 110. So we'll add that down to resolutions, which is Roman numeral 12, sorry. And I think that's the only thing we'll talk about under mayor and council down here. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, could I add a request for action for water and wastewater?
Water and wastewater?
Yeah, the pay raise.
Is that what was just handed to us? Yeah. Okay.
It's buried in the middle of a paragraph.
Up to 50,000?
Yep.
Dan, under Dan, up to 50,000 for blowers.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, council, that needs to be added? Administrator, yes?
Mayor, just one last year on the way the state contracts work on vehicle purchases. The request is to get authorization to order the vehicle this year and that would be actually purchased in 2019.
If we approve the chief's budget.
That's right. You have to approve the budget. That's right.
Or we can just take it out of John's budget.
Dan's got more money than I do.
Meter for blowers.
Yeah, he just spent $50,000 on it for blowers. Okay.
Car or blower?
Yeah.
Car.
Right, same $50,000, right? I don't think the chief's gonna look good driving around on top of a blower. All right, do I have a motion for the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda for the October 8th, 2018 meeting as amended.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll move to, does anybody on the council feel that they have a conflict of interest tonight? Hearing none, we will move to approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes from the September 24th regular meeting, 2018.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. Everybody read through the minutes. Is there any mistakes or things that need to be clarified? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We will move on down to bills. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve bills to October 8th, 2018.
Second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion.
Yes. Go ahead.
On page 8 for vehicle repair for 692.19. Larry H. Miller Ford.
10-30 is that.
That's us. What exactly are you looking at?
What page, Mike?
It's on page 8.
Eight.
Larry Miller Ford for 692.19 vehicle repair.
Mm-hmm. That was,
That mirror?
no, that was, and I'm sorry, I put my notes on the sheet, they weren't put over here. But that was, the new Interceptor, there was damage to it that was not covered by the warranty. I gotta go back and talk to Allied about something they may have done to make that problem happen, but there was a blown seal that was
Okay.
possibly the result of other mechanical work.
I see.
So, you know, I have to go back to them and negotiate.
Okay.
Getting the repair, but we did owe Larry Miller that money.
Okay. Thank you. So that's the dealership that you
Yeah.
got their car from?
Yeah, and it wasn't a warranty item.
Okay.
And normally we don't go to the dealership unless we have to, right?
No, we only bring the vehicles to dealership if it's warranty work or it's something that's out of the capabilities of the local mechanic.
Alright, page 6, the bottom, Ford Wheatley, there was a past due court judge monthly retainer.
His invoice last month was overlooked, so we doubled up on it.
Okay, cool. And then, page 7, Granger, replacement heaters.
That's for the basement and the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
Pike County.
2 different line items for that. There was one for 768 and one for 14.
Yeah, separate heaters, same line item, they're just, different parts, one was bigger than the other.
Okay.
Did we ever get clarification for that one bill that was questioned last meeting that Andy wasn't here?
I think John was gonna.
No, sir, that was, actually, it was for Minor Street. I mislabeled it, it was coded correctly, one was for East Minor Street, one was for Old Minor Street, and one for Central Minor
Okay.
Street.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Remember we had a
Yeah,
question on
yeah.
that
Two
one?
on East Minor Street,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
yeah, I mislabeled it for,
Okay.
Sandy.
That's what I figured. And I
Uh,
know that Sandy she has a more detailed list if we ever really need, more questions answered.
I've got on page 6 for Colorado barricade, pole pedestrian, pedestal and coupling. Was that one on one of our new?
No, sir, that was the, flashing pedestrian light by Come and Go that was hit by an unknown vehicle, and we had to replace the pole again.
And how many cameras that come and go? I guess.
You know, I'm not sure if they do.
They don't cover that. They don't
Oh,
cover
that
it.
area.
It's right at the crosswalk. They don't-
Right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a little out there. Page 8, the wastewater haul to the landfill, do you have any idea of what percentage this might be compared to what we used to pay with the previous process?
I did, off the top of my head, it's quite a bit lower.
Yeah, it seems like it's gotten
We were
really low
paying-
compared to,
Somewhere around 11.5 cents a gallon, we're probably down about 6 right now.
Oh, wow.
I think we still
That's
got
awesome.
some room to
Excellent.
Make it a little bit
Are you
better.
doing some kind of spreadsheet or a chart?
Yes. Yeah, we're keeping
that
track
I can
of
look at that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I think that was all I had.
Okay, anybody else? All right, roll call.
Michael Helen.
Yes.
John Fennell.
Yes.
Susie Sips.
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Healy.
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
Okay, so, Officer Fresquez is not with us tonight, so we'll,
And I do apologize, he asked to postpone because they had concerns about driving out here tonight in the weather.
okay. Next under, public comment is Bruce Boynton. Bruce, come on up.
Thanks.
If you would state your name and where you reside, please, for the record.
My name is Bruce Boynton. I reside up in St. Mary's. We also own the building right catty corner from here, 1640 Minor Street, that we've been trying to move our pizza shop to for a long time. But working with Safe Built, I noticed I was actually hoping Dan would be here, but he's not here, I guess.
No, because this is just a public comment.
Okay.
It's not a discussion. It's just
Okay.
to hear you out of what you expect and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, we have some issues with, Safe Built and the code for ADA and safety, and then historical, as to where they're kind of not flowing together at all. And the issue with the building, that I guess the only thing I can really talk to you guys about, because the rest of it really is building code, but I do have a couple questions. But, where is it here? The front, Safe Built wants the doors to open outward for safety. I completely understand that. But if they open outward, it's gonna be more of a safety issue, and it's gonna jeopardize the historic anything on the corner there. I mean, the two side doors on 17th, those are about 600 pounds apiece, and they swing over the whole sidewalk. If I open those out and someone's walking down the sidewalk, it's gonna kill them. You know, I mean, and the front door, if you open it out, there's 2 steps there. You're knocking yourself off the steps, which I believe to be more of a safety issue than the door opening in. But, and I'm asking the council if there's some way we could come to some sort of conclusion to say that we'll leave the doors historic and let's get this place open.
That's it?
I mean, the rest of the issues are building code, and I don't think you guys are gonna be able to answer that without Safe Built here.
So what I will say is, I know that Bruce, and we've had some meetings, and this is Bruce's dad, Craig. Nice to see you again.
Well, I
we're
actually-
trying to move the project along. There are code and HPRC things that we do have to look at. And you did the right thing by coming to us with an appeal. There is a process that we have in our municipal code, so you did the right thing. And what we can do with this in a very timely and get this thing moving along is bring us back together with Safe Built and potentially even a member of the HPRC. And as we all want to do, we want to make your business successful, move things along in a good way. And if there's, I know the HPRC will be concerned about changing the historic character of a building that's been there for, as you said, the second building that was built in downtown Idaho Springs. So we will do our due diligence, Bruce, to get this thing moving along really quick and get some solutions or some ideas, and council will discuss it in a work session of if they support, making it what I would call a variance. It's really not a variance, but an exception.
That's what I figured. It wouldn't be a variance, but there was something that you probably have to list it under variance and
Right,
et cetera, et cetera.
And
then
I've looked at your problem, the door swinging out would make, a
it would be an
problem
issue.
over the sidewalk. And there's other buildings that have been through this process before.
Okay, yeah, because there's multiple up Minor Street, but they swing in and they're open for business.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there gotta be some.
It all has to do with when you change, see, what that used to be, it was changed for conditional use. It wasn't the use that the dog meat store was not a use that it was intended for and had been zoned for. They came in and changed that. But when you start changing uses of a building, that really throws in, you know, building codes, bringing them up to code, making sure that everything's compliant.
Well, I do understand that, but at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of old buildings here that the uses have been changed and walls knocked out so you can walk them. And this isn't the first time, but either way, it's holding us up. I mean, a lot of silly stuff. We could have been open a long time ago
Okay.
with apartments, and now that's not happening, which I think is a shame.
Yeah, was architect involved too? That's
The
part of the
Architect,
equation.
structural engineer, mechanical
Has he
engineer.
been in contact with them to
Yes.
see if there's other solutions?
Yeah, and they're kind of stonewalling them on a lot of things and et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to get into all the silly stuff, but I mean, it's been stressful. I'll say that.
Okay, all right, we will have a work session and get to the bottom of this and set that meeting.
How long you think that might take? Like a
Just
week or
coordinating
two?
a meeting, you know, I'm gonna get Andy on that starting tomorrow, so hopefully it'll happen really quick.
Excellent. I'd like to thank you guys for hearing us, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fuller. All right, we'll move on. We're gonna go down to ordinance readings. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve ordinance number 15, series 2018, an ordinance annexing to the city of Idaho Springs certain unincorporated lands located in section 32, township 3, south, range 72, west of the 6th principal meridian in Clear Creek County, Colorado, to be known as the WWTP expansion annexation to the city of Idaho Springs.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second on the table. Discussion.
I didn't realize that this wasn't already city property, or it's within city limits.
Right. There's other properties right
Yeah.
now. Okay, do I have roll call?
Michael Hillman.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Susie Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick,
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to our next ordinance reading. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve ordinance number 16, series 2018, an ordinance amending portions of chapters 1 and 17 of the Idaho Springs Municipal Code concerning solicitations and penalties to comply with the legal developments concerning the same.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second. Discussion.
Where did this come from?
Well,
This is your first right amendment and what, people that are asking for help with surviving. And our municipal code said it was not allowed at all, and that is going against the first right amendment to be able to do that. And if you read the,
Yeah.
you know, the things they can't do with it, you know, they can't, if somebody says no, they can't pressure them or walk over
Right.
multiple people and ask, so that somebody would fear for their safety or their property to be damaged or
So
something.
what started this amendment to the resolution?
Chief?
What happened is the American Civil Liberties Union and other organizations brought it to the federal courts that panhandling, begging is a First Amendment right.
I see.
And what happened with many cities is that they were less concerned about the panhandling, but more about the manner in which it was done. So now the focus is on how people solicit things of value. Is it done aggressively?
I see.
You know, are people being trailed on the sidewalk, or you know, doors being blocked, or sidewalks being blocked? Are they being aggressive or threatening?
I see.
So we're not addressing the actual activity of panhandling, but more or less harassment for the purpose of solicitation.
Is this a statewide thing or?
This is a national.
National, okay. Cool. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Michael Hillman.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Susie Stokes.
yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick,
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move to our next ordinance, number 21. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve an ordinance amending Article 12 of Chapter 21 of the Idaho Springs Municipal Code to regulate and allow small cell commercial wireless telecommunications service facilities.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Over tabling this indefinitely.
Oh, so,
Yes, we are recommending that this be tabled indefinitely. This has been carried over several times.
okay, we should
And-
just axe that then and just table it.
Well, we do need to take official action. Carmen's, our city
Okay,
attorney's recommending
so-
we do take, council take an action on it. The table
So we make a
indefinitely.
motion to table this indefinitely?
Indefinitely, that would be the
Would you like me
wording.
to-
That way
would
it's
you
a
do
matter of
that?
record, the action.
I did make the
I mean,
motion.
So, I'll move to approve table ordinance number 21, series 2017, an ordinance amending Article 12 of Chapter 21 of the Idaho Springs Municipal Code to regulate and allow small cell commercial wireless telecommunication service facilities.
So the second.
Second.
Now discussion.
The Mayor and Council, instead, the tack will be that there'll be a total rewrite of this chapter, and that'll come back in just, as part of the land use code, it'll come back, in the next couple of months to council to address the overall, wireless communications facilities chapter.
So we'll start over and go back through first and
Right,
second
rather than just that
reading.
one section we were looking at, which was
Okay.
so problematic as to how we should
Okay.
go, we're just gonna do a rewrite of the whole, chapter.
Just that one chapter
Correct.
of the code.
Yeah, and most of the rest has been done.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion? Roll call.
Michael Hellman.
Yes.
Scott Canal.
Yes.
Lisa Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick,
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
All right, we will move down to the city administrator, Andy.
Mayor and Council, you have my report before you with 2 requests for action. On the agenda, there is one correction on the first action item, right at the end there, is construction contract. So authorize the mayor to sign the construction contract. Just wanted to point that out.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for Andy?
So what is the first motion for?
Or if we're gonna do it that way, let's go ahead and make a motion.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss. Do I have a motion?
Move to accept the bid from American Civil Constructors in the amount of $2,124,261.29 for the West Idaho Springs and Central Idaho Springs Multi-Use Trail Project, and to authorize the mayor to sign the construction project
Contract.
contract.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Now we can discuss. Jason,
So what is this for?
this is for the Greenway.
Alright, well, they should put the word Greenway in here. So this is out of what?
Multi-use trail project.
Well, I know, but it's like everything else regarding this. So where's this money coming from?
We got $2 million from GOCO and CDPA,
And then the 124,000?
The 100, that was part of Parks and Wildlife grant.
CPW, yeah,
CPW,
$400,000 grant from CPW.
So none of this $2.1 million is coming out of the general fund, correct?
Correct, it's grant, yeah, there's a small match, but it's.
And what was the match? Like,
Most of the match was done
Through-
with Colorado Boulevard.
Yeah.
oh, that's right, that's right.
The trail that we built along with we were able to use that as a match.
Okay. Alright,
And we brought Tony
and
here.
this is, basically to connect it, so the West Idaho Springs?
West Idaho Springs is the trail to nowhere, to
Right.
Royal Park.
That seems like more like Central Idaho Springs, I guess, to me.
No, that's West Idaho Springs. So that's the western portion of the trail to nowhere will be built down, some rock cut, and it'll kind of.
Oh, so they're gonna realign that,
up
the
there.
older trail to
Yes.
meet, okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Then it'll come down to the lower bench and then come through the
Okay.
parking lot of the Forest Service.
Right,
Which is
right.
actually CDOT right away.
Okay.
Where we're putting it, cross over to where we go down into Waterwheel Park.
Cool. Alright,
And then it'll come Waterwheel Park up through here, Riverside.
and when will this start?
Well, after we award the contract, we'll get notice to proceed immediately. So,
What kind of impacts are we gonna be looking at on the?
I think the impacts, and I don't, of course, we don't know how the contractor is gonna phase it and do it. I'm assuming they're gonna do the west, cause that's gonna be the bigger,
Right.
the west and this out here, because we're realigning our parking all
Yeah.
out here. We're gonna lose our parking over here, we're
Right.
putting parking on Minor Street. So this is gonna be the impact, there's not gonna be any impact over there.
Right.
And then.
So it's really just from here
That's gonna be our
to
biggest
Riverside
impact.
Drive,
That's gonna be our biggest impact. And of course, we're gonna coordinate, since we still have HDR managing, so they're managing this project, and then coordinate with, Central Minor and Silver Creek as it's going on. So there's gonna be some stuff going on there at the same time. So,
All right.
any other questions? All right, roll call.
Michael Helen.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Tracy Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick,
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
And if you look at the bid dollars and the bids of the way they came in, it was like $4,000 difference.
Yeah.
So it was
They were
really
pretty close.
close and competitive. One we looked at, when we read it, it was $1.3 million. And we said, great. Then of course they called while they're sitting in the audience and everybody else said, $1.3 million, we know ours is way above that. But after we started looking at it, they actually called us and said, we didn't add these things together,
Yeah,
so this really
I
should be
remember
that.
that.
So they went from first to last. But so, okay. We already got roll call, right?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We're gonna get the trail done. Okay, do I have a motion for our second ask?
Move to approve proposal from Walker Parking Consultants, in the amount of $7,200 to develop a parking structure concept, alternatives, alternatives, and revise footprints of the downtown parking structure.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Is this within our budget?
Yeah, we still have plenty of money for this.
And this is just for the different footprint that we.
Yeah, remember we did a concept development
Right.
with the
Mhm.
area that we were looking at. This is replacing that and moving forward with this.
Cool.
All right, roll call.
Michael Helen.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Tracy Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick,
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
Right. Everybody saw the Sakeville September activity report. I don't know if I can answer any questions off of that. All right. Is that all you want, Andy?
That's it for now, sir.
Yeah, that's
Thank
only, what, 2,130,000.
Council, I did not submit a staff report. I was on vacation for pretty much most of that time.
Okay. All right, thanks Diane, good job holding the front office down for us. And we'll move to PD.
Mayor and council, I'll refer you to my report. I do have one request for action. As we have the last 2 years, we've made a request to order our vehicle, in October so that it can be delivered in January. That way we have the vehicle, at the beginning of the year. These are funds that are out of the capital expenses, so this was already budgeted years ago for this vehicle. We did have some savings last year because I was able to use money from our communications account this year and other funds to put towards equipping that vehicle. So we actually have a little bit of savings at the front of the fiscal year.
I didn't see it, maybe I overlooked it, but do you have a cost of this vehicle?
We've been budgeted at, I believe the total budget was $54,000. That includes the vehicle, the radios, the lights, the sirens, setting it up for, right, our next vehicle is gonna be a pickup truck, a crew cab pickup truck. Because it's not an Interceptor, there'll be some savings. It'll be essentially a commercial truck like, Public Works uses. So there'll be a little bit of savings there. We did submit, for a request of it, but it will come in under the $54,000. I believe, the vehicle, do you remember what you paid? Oh, you don't have crew cabs. I wanna say it came in at $39,000. But I'll double check that. We're gonna have to, the big request is so old that we're gonna have to resubmit.
This is gonna be for an officer's vehicle, or is this
Yes.
gonna be for our?
No, it's gonna be an officer's vehicle. I'm gonna assign it to, Officer Frost because he lives in town. Because there's real no long-term benefit of needing a truck, but having it outside the city. So this vehicle will be assigned to him, but it'll be available to any officer that needs a truck. And it'll give my truck a break, since we don't have a truck.
And then you're gonna budget for the ordinance officer vehicle.
Yes, that, I'm gonna coordinate with Andy on that, I haven't solicited the bids on that yet. I suspect that his vehicle's already on the survey list, is that correct?
In the survey list?
The surplus property list?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah,
So-
so I'll go ahead and start getting, bids on that from the Chevy. What we're thinking about is a smaller truck, a Colorado crew cab.
They're not too good, so don't get one. Oh, I got one. All right, any questions for the chief? Do I have a motion?
So are we doing this contingent upon his budget being approved? Or is this
No,
a
has
part of
already
the
been-
CIP?
This cap
that's already
has
been?
already been in the
Okay.
CIP.
And basically what you're authorizing, tonight, council, is to do this order now.
Right.
So he can
Up
take
to
advantage of.
54?
What's that?
Is that what we're doing, up to 54? Is that
Yes.
what was budgeted in the CIP?
Right,
Okay.
that's right.
You need a line item?
It's the capital improvement line item for vehicles, I don't know that number off the top of my head.
Okay.
I can do the research and then we can just, we can vote on the action item in 2 weeks, that would be fine. And that way I
We have an established line item for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an
I'm
established line.
comfortable with moving forward.
Alright, I make a motion to approve up to the amount of $54,000 for a new police vehicle from the line item that involves the CIP for the police vehicle. Whatever line item that may be, 10, 20 something, right?
Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, discussion. Roll call.
We have to say that we take the receipt after January in that motion? or-
I'm sorry?
We have to say that we take the receipt after January first on that motion?
Yeah,
Yes.
that one.
So,
Be paid for.
I move to approve up to $54,000 for the purchase of a police vehicle to be invoiced after January 1st out of the line item that involves the CIP.
And a second? Motion and a second, more discussion? Roll call?
Michael Hall?
Yes.
Scott Canal?
Yes.
Teresa Stokes?
Yes.
Bob Boland, Mike Buick?
Yes.
John Curtis?
Yes.
Jason Segel?
Yes.
Another 54 grand. All right, Public Works, John.
Mayor and council, I did not, put in a staff report, I was on vacation. I can't speak here. I just do have a couple things, to make you aware of. Tomorrow, we are shutting the water off on East Minor Street. Sometime over the weekend, we had our newest trailer and mower disappear from our yard.
From the public works yard?
Yes. We're not sure where it went to or who took it, but it was noticed today it was gone.
I'm assuming you filed a police report?
Yes. And we will file it with our insurance also.
You don't have any cameras down there, do you?
No, unfortunately, we do not.
So what's our protocol for that going forward? Is there a way to take eye bolts and sink them deep down in
No,
and concrete them in
unfortunately,
and then?
typically there's something parked in front of it. But we've been moving everything around, putting plows on the vehicles, and it just so happened that there was nothing parked in front of it this time.
There was no lock on the trailer?
No, there wasn't. That was the only one I think that we has a ball hitch on it, the rest of them are pintle hooks, which isn't that popular on standard pickups, but, yeah, we will definitely start.
What do you estimate financially that loss is?
The trailer was purchased earlier this year for $16.95. The ride-on mower was purchased about 3 years ago for about $3,200.
So it's already depreciated, I mean,
For the
somewhat.
most part, yes. But it's unfortunate that it
Yeah.
didn't leave anything.
Well, at least it's not grass growing season right now.
That's true, that's true.
Okay,
That's a bummer.
and no request for action from John.
No, I'm the only one not spending any money tonight.
How about that? Well, then we got Dan.
Mayor and council, I'll refer you to my staff report with the addition I passed out earlier for request for action.
Okay, any, questions for Dan? Do I have a motion? Nobody wants to make that.
Motion to approve, up to $50,000 for, new blower for wastewater treatment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Is there a line item we need to add to that? I think it's gonna probably have to come out of the emergency reserve.
Okay.
And we're hoping we're in talks with the town of Erie to get a couple of their old blowers, so hopefully it's gonna come in quite a bit lower than that. That would be for replacement, full-size brand new blowers. So hopefully we don't have to go down that route, and hopefully we can get 2 blowers for installed for probably about $25,000–$30,000.
So you're saying that you're trying to put this off because of the new expansion? but
We've
this-
been trying to keep these things running for about a month and a half now, and it finally went
These
down.
aren't anything that you could somehow incorporate into the
No, they're not the
expansion?
right size for the expansion, and we've had nothing but problems with them since I've been here, so. We've been trying not to throw more money into them, and unfortunately, it's that time, and they decided to quit on us on Friday, so.
Yeah, so if you can find used ones, that's probably
Yeah.
a good move.
Okay, roll call.
Michael Owen?
Yes.
Scott Canal?
Yes.
Teresa Stokes?
Yes.
Mike Bowman? Mike Bewley?
Yes.
John Curtis?
Yes.
Jason Siegel?
Yes.
And I just want to express, as I usually do, all department heads are doing a great job keeping the city moving and keeping us up to date and making sure we're not falling apart. So thank all of you. All right, we'll move down
What's
to,
this all about?
we want to, Chief, you want to talk about the parking on Wall Street?
Yes, I'm sorry. So we have a new residence there, and they brought with them 4 cars, and they came here without the knowledge of the challenges related to parking on streets that were made for foot traffic and for some lanes. So I think we're at a point now that the city needs to, again, examine whether or not we should make Wall Street a one-way street and parking exclusively on one side. This is something that then council member Kate Collier brought up, and at the time, I think the feeling was it wasn't the pressures that are today were not here 3 years ago. I think that's changed. I think there's safety issues. EMS has already said they cannot get ambulances up on the street, especially when vehicles park on both sides of the road. So with the mayor's permission or the mayor and council's permission, I'd like to do a door-to-door survey of residents and see how they feel about making Wall Street a one-way street. One of the things I did notice is that predominantly the residents access the street from the east, and you'll notice all the vehicles are parked right where the curb on the north side of the street. So since that's a natural flow, it appears, I'd recommend if it's suitable that the street run from east to west one way. There's only a small section of the street where it's unsigned, and that's where cars are allowed to park on both sides of the street. But even then, I think if the garbage trucks can't get up there, fire engines can't get up there.
One other thing we need to look at on this, Chief, is to make sure that it is city right away and that's not ownership of that road. Because we do have another situation on.
Wait, do we have any estimate of the cost of the signage that would be required for that?
No, I don't think I don't think the signs are that expensive. To the extent, I can't imagine.
There's already an existing sign, we're telling that side, yes.
And then the other side, we wouldn't be able to if that's private property, correct? Yeah, so that
So if we
signage
make
might be
it
an
one
issue.
way, we could just put it
Put it at the end.
at the
when you're
end,
coming up.
do not
When you
enter
get
at
up
the
there,
other
it
end,
says
right.
one way only.
Yeah.
And also the signs that are already on the south side of the street, it's just a matter of putting the signs on the other side of the pole.
So there are poles,
Yeah,
there are existing
yeah, where
poles
there are signs that
There's
say
some
do
no
not
parking
park
signs.
this side,
Right.
so.
Okay, I see, yeah, there's right
So
there.
as we explore options and, we visit with these folks and then we look into it ourselves in terms of private ownership, what do we have on the books that forces some kind of a throughway? Because it is a pretty big concern that fire trucks can't get up there or, ambulance and things like that. So you would think that we would have a favorable response from property owners so they could retain critical
I think
services.
it's how you frame it.
That's how we'll frame it, that's how we'll inform them, is
Yeah.
that it's just simply, you know, the street is barely wide enough to accommodate one of the full-size engines as it is, and EMS, they've already told us that they can't, you know, they can't get vehicles in there when there's cars on both sides of the street.
They need to get a horse and buggy then, huh?
Horse and buggy, yeah.
Yeah, that's been an issue for quite some time.
Do your poll up there and.
Yeah, we'll go door to door, we'll do hang tags and maybe mail in, self-addressed, stamped envelope in it. And, whoever we don't hear from, we'll go meet with them personally.
Okay, sounds good, thanks, Chief. All right, we will move down to committee reports. This is where I just want, or we'll move to mayor and council. Unless anybody's got any reports, I'll just say that the Feast on the Creek last night was a great event. It went well, the music, the speakers, you know, it was a very good event. I don't think we raised as much money as we did last time, but everything helps, and, you know, reconstructing our park, and, you know, other greenway projects is going with the county. So I think it was a success, the tent was great, and I could almost see more events like that, and people setting up a tent there and doing events, so. We're gonna talk, we need to talk about it on our work session, but our surplus items that we're trying to auction off and get out of our possession, and vehicles that have been sitting around, and junk that's been sitting on John's lot down there. Instead of stealing that motorcycle, I don't know why they didn't steal the grader, but. So everybody kind of saw that list. Is there any concerns or questions or disagreements about how we dispose of these properties?
I mean, we're just gonna auction all this stuff off?
There's a is it called BidNet, or what is it called, the application and pictures, and then put them up on a website and bid them out. Cool. We might not find, you know, we might have some that people don't want to buy, that don't. You know,
Yeah.
One already Chief has talked to us before about giving to the fire department, the fire authority, so that they can practice doing extractions from. Is that right? Bert?
Yeah.
Extractions from
Oh, the fire, yeah, the fire
Training.
with the police vehicles, yeah. So there's, so all of this equipment has already been considered for things such as what he just mentioned, for training purposes and things like that?
Well, that vehicle is not operable, so
Right.
it doesn't really, I mean, we've been taking parts off of it for other older Crown Vics.
Right.
So it's really been cannibalized. But it does have a cage in there, and it's something unique for fire to practice extricating.
So, but for this list itself, there's nothing on here that is a potential use for something similar to that?
Just the other patrol car, that one was running though, as of the time
Right.
we parked it.
Okay.
And I move to donate the dual cassette player recorder to Jason Siegel
Wait,
for
what?
zero cost.
Dual cassette player, that sounds fun. To dust off some stuff.
So is everybody good with us going ahead and moving forward with this, getting rid of some of the surplus items that we have?
I'll pay you $10 for it.
Oh,
John, bring it up to him.
I'll put it on display.
Your seats, Ford Explorer. Okay. Anything else, council, before we adjourn? Oh, I do have one more thing.
You
You need to do the resolution.
didn't do the resolution.
110. The 110.
The one, oh, yeah,
Proposition.
sorry, yeah. Okay, do I have a motion? I'll do the motion. I make a motion for council collectively supporting Proposition 110 and giving, and making a resolution for it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
You have a resolution,
Yeah,
it's number,
what's
series, 2018.
I'm sorry.
I'll move to approve resolution number 13, a resolution supporting Proposition 110 seeking voter approval to increase transportation infrastructure funding.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, discussion. Roll call.
Michael Hillman.
Yes.
Scott Canal.
Yes.
Reese Stokes. Bob Boland. Mike Cooley.
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Siegel.
Yes.
Also, the city gets a certificate of appreciation. A couple of, was it Friday night? A couple of Fridays ago, after the football game. The Elks, they hold a MIA, POW, MIA recognition over there. And we, the city, have received a certificate of appreciation. And I'll read it. The certificate of appreciation is presented to the City of Idaho Springs in recognition and grateful appreciation for outstanding patriotic service to the community, state, and nation through the display of the POW-MIA flag, which contributes to the advancement of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. Presented by Ralph Wilkins, post number 98, Department of Colorado, on this 21st day of September 2018. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Any other questions, Andy?
There's a second resolution, under, resolution 14. There's handed out the dais there, the, Proposition 74.
We decided not to do this one because Jason was on the fence.
Okay.
You had minutes that before?
Number 74.
Right, yeah. We decided not to support that as a vote. All right, any other questions? It is 7:50, meeting adjourned.